This May the 6th Picks edition, May the 5th Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, MLB, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today. Use the promo code MLB SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is, why don't I know the date? I haven't done this for ages. Thursday, April the 4th. And we are here primarily to take the piss out of Dylan for 20 minutes. But we'll also handicap all the MLB action for tomorrow, for Friday, April the 5th. Joining me in the middle of a really wonderful doubleheader, I'm sure he's having a lovely time, is Mr. Dylan Rockford. Dylan Rockford, how about those amazing Mets?
Oh, I'm telling you, it's the gift that keeps on giving. 0-5, you gotta love it. Keep giving you plus money for fading the Mets, but they're down 1-0, looking to go 0-6. Gotta love it.
Yeah, I watched the first game and we handicapped it to absolute death. Apart from the under, which really it was the extra innings that cost us, wasn't it? Once you got to 3-3, you then thought, can someone pinch it 4-3, even in extras, and even the Mets couldn't do that. They gave away tons of runs. But we did handicap it to death. Cold weather, kind of interesting pitching matchup, and low octane, or certainly not firing offenses. So we got that right, and we picked Detroit, which was so the process was right on both of those things. But yeah, just not really happening again. The second game of the doubleheader is top of the third. Detroit lead 1-0 in that one.
I think the bigger question, though, Mal, is did you go 0-2 or 2-0 in soccer?
Right. Well, this is just what I was going to tell you. So the second game tonight, Chelsea v Manchester United, has just moved into 8 minutes of injury time. I took the draw. Man United lead 3-2. They were 2-0 down, actually. So I've got 8 minutes for Chelsea to find a goal. But in the other game, I got a winner, Dylan. So as it stands, I'm going 1 for 9. I've just recorded from 3:30 Eastern, the Premier League show. So we had a live sweat on. My play was a horrible bet as well. A horrible handicap play of Sheffield United plus 2.5 goals against Liverpool. And Liverpool won 3-1. So with the 2.5 goals, Sheffield United nicked it on the handicap. So I had one even money winner out of the 10 games, unless Chelsea can get me a win. But we did say you're only as good as your last pick. So one in a row, Dylan. I'm on a game for the next 7 minutes. I'm on a winning streak of 1.
Yeah, as long as you were able to get 1.
Yeah, if Chelsea equalise, I'm on 2. As it stands, a winning streak of 1. You can add the. I did tell all the football fans on the Premier League show that the baseball picks have been going okay. So maybe the first week of baseball has poisoned my mind a little bit about the first week, the last week of Premier League stuff. So we've got lots of games tomorrow. We've got some day ball, which is fun. Afternoon games in New York and Detroit, all the way through. There's 13 games tomorrow. So a bit more for us to get our teeth into than there was last night. Trev was first in the chat, round about 2 hours before. Oh, no, sorry, not 2 hours. 49 minutes before we started, Trev was here. And Randy got here on time, which is more sensible. So if you are lurking, and you've got something to tell us, say hello, give us a pick, and we will tell the people what you like. It's a shrewd room. The listeners are far more competent than me and Dylan, so by all means, get involved. So tomorrow starts a 1:05 Eastern first pitch. It's the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. Left-handed pitcher Yusei Kikuchi going for Toronto, and Marcus Stroman goes for the Yankees, who are -150 favourites. Blue Jays +125. Total set at 8.5, and Dylan is going to lead us off.
Yeah, going to start with a total here, Mal. I'm going to take a shot with the over 8.5. I got -110. I made my total 8.8 with Stroman and Kikuchi on the mound. Stroman pitched really well in his first start. He went 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits. I do want to see if he could be a little more consistent, because that was his problem, especially in for the Mets, being consistent. So if he can be consistent, I think they'd be good. I do think the Yankees are the right side. I made them a -160 favorite. They've just really been unstoppable right now, coming from behind against the Diamondbacks the other night. And the Blue Jays, their offense has kind of been up and down, a little bit inconsistent. I do think they'll be able to get some runs off of Stroman, and Yankees are definitely going to get some off of Kikuchi. But yeah, we got winds, 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, and it's already a small ballpark. So I think we'll see a lot of runs in this first game. So I'm going to go over 8.5.
I've got the same pick, Dylan. Team right here, the over. The Blue Jays are so inconsistent. How many times have we talked about their approach at the plate? Just because they've got talented players doesn't mean it's automatically going to happen for you. They've been no hit and 1 hit this weekend in Houston. That's absolutely remarkable. I've no idea. It sounds a bit counterintuitive now that we're taking it over with a team that's just been no hit and 1 hit. Was the Blue Jays that can go and rack up a load of runs? Kikuchi was poor at Tampa Bay last week, 6 hits and 3 walks. Stroman revenge game. I know I'm getting the hang of the revenge games. Stroman revenge game. He's a bit of a dog, Stroman. I quite like his attitude. He went 6 scoreless at Houston. He's got a terrible record at Yankee Stadium. I know he has signed for them, but 2-6 lifetime with a 6.06 ERA in visits to Yankee Stadium with Toronto, and 1 appearance there for the New York Mets. Judge got off the mark with his first homer last night. Looks a little bit more settled at the plate. So, yeah, same pick, over 8.5 runs. Toronto Blue Jays at New York Yankees. Second afternoon game is 1:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch between the Oakland Athletics and the Detroit Tigers. Left-handed pitcher J.P. Sears for Oakland. Left-handed pitcher Tarek Skubal for Detroit. +195 on the A's, -250 on the Tigers. And the total here set at 7.5. I think it's worth mentioning, I don't know if you've seen the news in the last hour or so, Dylan, that this will be Oakland's last year in the Bay Area, because they're heading to Sacramento for 2 years. I'm guessing is that why while Vegas gets sorted out? I only saw it because I was recording the Premier League show. I only saw a little bit of the news. Do you know a little bit more than me about that?
Yeah, I know that's where their AAA team plays in Sacramento.
Right, okay.
So they're going to play there for 2 years before this their new stadium is set up.
That just baffles me. It doesn't make me. I've said before, because I don't have a huge history, like a lifelong history of being a baseball person. Some of this peripheral stuff, it's a bit like Hall of Fame and stuff. Some of this peripheral stuff. Oh, that's a penalty. Oh, he's giving it. We're in for the draw. It's a 97th minute penalty for Chelsea. I'm on a heater, everybody. You want to write all my picks down. I don't get head up, so I'm not upset about this Oakland thing. It doesn't make me angry or furious or whatever. But it absolutely stinks. We do not have in this country a culture, the franchise culture at all. There's one football team in England that moved Wimbledon, where the tennis is. Wimbledon moved to Milton Keynes, and even now to this day, they're known as the franchise football club. They're absolutely the poor relations. Everyone frowns upon Milton Keynes as being this one franchise football team. And obviously it's different in America, but it's just horrible. It's all to do with greed. And Oakland's a great place for a baseball team. It's absolutely wild, Dylan. So, I don't know. Do
The
you have any
Coliseum
strong thoughts
is,
on this?
yeah, real quick. The Coliseum is an amazing place. I haven't been there, but everyone that's been out west and has gone, it's great vibes. I can't stand the owner, John Fisher. I mean, tanking on purpose is just awful. They sent down Ruiz, the guy who's competing with Ronald Acuna Jr. They sent him down all because some people in the team were wearing wristbands to support like one of Fanatics club. Like they were like diehard
Yeah, it was
Oakland
like
Athletic
named
fans.
after a local bar or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So they don't want to move. I think I agree with you. I think Oakland is a great spot for them. And I don't know. Like, if I'm Vegas, I don't want to adopt an owner like John Fisher, if I'm being honest, because he just doesn't care about it. It's all about money for him. And I just can't stand it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's horrible. There is a few good conspiracy theories going on. Obviously, Ruiz, SG Ruiz, we knew what you were going to get with him. He hasn't got great fundamentals, but he'd actually started the season a small sample size. He was hitting 429 or 459 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to get much more than that from him. But they sent him down. And then Brent Rooker, who was probably their best power hitter, he only started 2 of the first 4 games. And they were linking it to this wristband thing. So, yeah, it's a right load of old bollocks, Dylan. This game tomorrow, JP Sears, I'm not stalling until they take this penalty. But when you see my arms go in the air, you know that I'm all the way back, Dylan. He's going to miss this now. Sears pitched 3 innings, 3 2/3 last week, 6 hits, 5 earned runs against Cleveland. There's not an awful lot you can do with that line at the moment. Oakland are sitting now at 1-6. Detroit have had a good win today against those New York Mets. Are leading in the second game. Low scoring again, as we thought. Penalty scores. Get in
Let's
there.
go.
What a price that is. I bet that as well. Plus 320, Dylan. Nice winner. Here we go.
Let's go.
Scooble's percentage rankings for 2023 are absolutely flame red, Dylan. His xERA, his strikeout percent, his walk percent are all sky high. He was one of the best pitchers in baseball in the second half last year and started this season the same. 6 innings scoreless with 6 strikeouts against the White Sox, which is a lovely way to ease your way into the season. The White Sox and then the Oakland A's. It's like an extended spring training. I don't want to put Detroit factor them in my handicap just because of what I watched today. Low scoring again. But I think the Oakland team total under is going to be a fair bet. Will probably be 3.5 maybe. Because Scooble, there's no reason not to go with Scooble at all here. So the Oakland team total under will be my play here.
Yeah, I like it, especially if you could get a 3.5. I do like this. For me, I don't usually do this, but A's for plus 1.5 at minus 113 isn't a bad play in my opinion. You know, like you said, Tigers playing this doubleheader, then having to travel back home, regardless if it's the A's or not. I do think the bats might be a little tired for them. Even with Scooble having a good game, I do think the A's could keep this close. Tigers don't hit lefties all that well. I think this could be a good spot for JP Sears to, keep them in the ball game. Maybe first 5 plus a half a run. But why not? I'll take a shot here with the A's plus 1.5 at minus 113.
Dylan, you will not believe what's just happened. Chelsea have scored again. It's now 4-3.
So my God.
They've scored in the 100th minute of a 90-minute game. Wow. Yeah. So I'm not all the way back. We need to find another winner. I need another winner. What's the next game on the card here? What a shambles, honestly. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all, Dylan. 2:20 Eastern first pitch. The LA Dodgers at the Chicago Cubs. Bobby Miller, great-looking pitcher, goes for the LA Dodgers. And Kyle Hendricks will go for the Cubbies. Minus 180 on the Dodgers, plus 150 on the Cubs. Total at 7.5, Dylan.
Yeah, why the hell not? I'll take a shot here with the home dog. Give me the Cubs. As long as you see a plus 150 or better. I only made the Dodgers a minus 150 favorite. I get why the total is at 7. I made my total as low to 7.2. Going to be a cold, windy day, so total being low, you got to imagine when you get a low total like this, you kind of like to be on the side of the dog. Books are kind of basically saying they are live. And I do think the Cubs could be live here. It was a bad first start for Hendricks, coming back home where he's much more comfortable pitching. Based on the value here, I know the Dodgers are red hot. Based on the value here, I got to take a shot here with the home dog. So plus 154, as long as you get a plus 150 or higher, I'll take a shot here with the Cubbies.
Can't take Kyle Hendricks. I'm worried for Kyle Hendricks, actually. Terrible start last week. 9 hits and 2 walks. He gave up in that first game. I absolutely love Bobby Miller. I made no secret about the fact I backed him for Cy Young this year. And he had a great start against St. Louis last week, struck out 11 batters. The Dodgers don't play today. They're a 4-game winning streak where they've hit 6 homers, but they're scoring 5.75 runs per game. Now, I assume the weather in the northeast is still going to be dodgy all over, and that's making these totals slightly lower. But I like it either a Dodgers team total, although the weather slightly puts me off. So maybe a Dodgers first 5 run line, because I've got Miller shutting down the Cubs. So if the Dodgers can get to 2 or 3 runs, that might do it. So we'd take the Dodgers early on the run line, or a Dodgers team total if the weather isn't too inclement. Right, okay. I'm going to tell you about Cut, peer-to-peer social betting platform, US-based and available in 40 states. Peer-to-peer social betting is a new and better way to bet. You can bet against your friends or other users on sports, politics, pop culture. Create your own bets is a fun thing to do. If you listen to some of the other shows, the golf and the NASCAR, and they've been putting their own props, their own bets up on Cut and their own odds, and getting players to come and bet with them. There's loads of rewards, cashback, social features. Download Cut today in the App Store over at cut.com. That's KUTT. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. And Underdog Fantasy, one of our favourite sponsors here, the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. Just pick your favourite players and whether they're going to go higher or lower on the props. Any sport you like on there, you can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. You can make rivals picks, which puts 2 players against each other, i.e. who's going to have the most yards. Sign up today with the promo code MLB SGPN and you'll get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Visit underdogfantasy.com, find them in the App Store. Don't forget to register with our promo code MLB SGPN and you'll get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or over, present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Next game on the card, 4:10 Eastern first pitch, the Tampa Bay Rays at the Colorado Rockies. We have Zach Littell, preferred pronunciation, I'm not sure. Zach Littell goes for the Tampa Bay Rays. Left-handed pitcher Austin Gomber will take the ball for Colorado. Zach Littell, the Rays minus 175. The Rockies plus 145. Big old total, 12.5. Littell went well on debut last week. 6 scorers, 4 hits and 2 walks in a 5-1 win over the Blue Jays. And that's no fluke. He's not one of the bigger names that come out of Tampa Bay. But he went well last year as well. He had a 4.10 ERA last year. He did pitch in Coors Field on August 22nd last year. Went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. Did strike out 6 batters, which is a good. I think that's a good sign in Coors, because obviously, as well as the ball flying out further, it does hamper the amount of stuff, the amount of movement a pitcher can get on some of the pitches. So if he had enough movement to get 6 Ks in there, I think he might go okay. That game, Tampa Bay won 12-4. And that looks like a bit of an omen for this one here. Austin Gomber was poor last week in Arizona. 6 hits, 2 walks, and 4 earned runs. Did give up 2 home runs as well. His metrics are bad. He was terrible at home last year. Terrible. 7.05 ERA. In 15 games as well. Not a small sample size. He gave up 16 homers in those 15 games. So if you can find a Tampa Bay player to hit one out, Rosa Reina was the one that jumped out at me. That 12-4 game's a good comp, So I don't mind the over, even though it's big at 12.5. But I do think the Tampa Bay on the run line at -120. So, yeah, I think that's got to be the play. Just going back to Rosa Reina, already has a home run against left-handed pitching this year in just 5 at-bats, so he can get one off combat tomorrow. So I'll take Tampa Bay on the run line, but I do think we could see lots and lots of runs.
Yeah, I'm going with the total here, Mal. It's high, but give me the over 12.5 at -106. I made my total 12.9. Even not playing in altitude, the Rockies have been in a lot of high-scoring games, 8-9, 12-2, 9-4. And now with Austin Gomber on the mound, I feel like the Rays, like you said, that 12-4 game, I think like this could be another one of them. I like the Rays team total, anything over a 5.5. I think that's a good play on the Rays team total. I think the Rays are going to tee off on him. We have 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing into center field, so because of altitude, because of the wind, I think we're going to see a lot of runs here. So love the run line. I do think the Rays win by more than one run, but I like the over 12.5.
Just looking at the Pittsburgh-Washington game, took Jack Sawinski to do stuff, and the bases are loaded top of the first, but he sacrificed fly. That's a bit frustrating for Sawinski. That's not going to win me any bets, but kind of on the right lines, and there's plenty of time to go in that one. Next up is a 4:12 weird starting time between the Baltimore Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore, and we have Jared Jones going for Pittsburgh. -135 for the Orioles. A home underdog are Pittsburgh at +115 with a total of 7.5, Dylan.
Yeah, we finally got there, fading the Pirates the other night. We'll see how today goes. They're currently winning 1-0, but I do think this is a good time to start fading them. I love the price we're getting here with the Orioles. I made him a -150 favorite. Besides the home run he gave up, I really like what I saw from Grayson Rodriguez in his first start. He was good with his pitches. He was accurate. He didn't give up a lot. Besides that home run, he pitched really well. On the other side, Jared Jones, he pitched well too, but it was against the Angels. This is a much different lineup, this Oriole team. They're great with runners in scoring position. They're aggressive at the plate, and they also hit righties much better than they do lefties. So against here, Jared Jones, I do think this is a time where he comes back down to earth a little bit. So I'll take the discounted price here I'm getting with the Orioles. I do think they are the right size. So -135, I'll take them.
Yeah, team right, Dylan. Same play. It was a nice price. It's that dangerous price zone, -135. But I do like it. He was brilliant last week against the Angels, 9 strikeouts. Jared Jones is a name I think I was interested to say. I picked him up in a few fantasy teams when he got the job as the 5th starter. There was quite a lot of talk about him. And I think we'll learn more about Jones here than we will in that start against Miami. So I'll maintain a watch and brief for now on Jared Jones. And just take Baltimore. I agree with you. Pittsburgh look like they're getting away early on in this first inning. But yeah, I'll take Baltimore to beat Pittsburgh tomorrow with Rodriguez over Jones will be my play. Next is a 4:35 Eastern first pitch. It's the San Diego Padres at the San Francisco Giants. Dylan Cease goes for San Diego, and it is Jordan Hicks for San Francisco. -110 on Cease, and the Padres -118 on the Giants, with Hicks with a total here of 7.5. Interesting this one. Cease pitched okay last week on his debut for the Padres against the Giants, as it happens. He only gave up 2 hits, and I think it was defensive errors really that led to the runs. Did strike out 6 as well. He should go a little bit longer, I think, if he stretched out a little bit more, settled into his job there. Hicks was really interesting coming into the season. another name that's bounced about, a name that's been highly touted. He's been up and down from the bullpen. He's had injuries, but there was a lot of talk. He was an interesting option coming into this season, and pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, again 6 strikeouts in that same game last week against the Padres. So with a big park here and 2 good starting pitchers, neither of these teams have been scoring tons of runs. So I'll take the under 7.5 to them.
Yeah, for here, this was a tough game to handicap for me. No play. I probably won't get to the window with anything. If anything, I'd probably take the Giants here on the money line. Total seems spot on. I set my total at 7.8. We're getting 8s right now. It did open up at 7.5, so money is coming in on the over. I don't feel comfortable taking the under right now with any Giant games. They've been in a lot of high-scoring games. They're 7-0 towards the under. And will also be a very windy afternoon in San Francisco. You got 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing out into center field. So maybe Giants team total over if we're able to get like a 3.5, 4. I like the team total over because I do think even when they're down, they do have a tendency of scoring some runs when being down. So maybe either team total over for the Giants or just take the Giants straight up at home.
Pittsburgh lead 4-0, top of the first in that one. That one's got away quickly, mate. That was Josiah Gray, Dylan, yesterday.
Oh, your boy, Jake Berger, home run.
There he goes. Is that the 200-1 cash out? I'll cash out. What do we get now? Well, that's 1 on the season.
I don't want to jinx anything, but they are up 4-1, the Marlins, in the 5th inning.
Oh, shit. Well, they cashed Scott's season-long bet yesterday, so they can they can win one today. I don't mind that. Okay, Lance Lynn. Bloody hell, Lance Lynn. I knew I should have faded the Cardinals. I've done it every day, apart from the day. That's the kind of form I'm in. Where are we going? 6:45 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia Phillies at the Washington Nationals. Aaron Nola for the Phillies and Patrick Corbin, left-handed pitcher for the Nationals. -188 Philly, +150 Washington, total 8.5. Aaron Nola was rooked by the Braves last week. 6 earned and a homer, but that can happen to teams. The Braves will do that to a lot of people this year. Philly are struggling a little bit. I've got Philly in the MLB Survivor this week, and they're 1-2 on the week. So I need them to win this series to at least earn me the split, and then I won't lose my life in this Survivor contest. Just a solo home run from Schwarber last night was all they had to show when they went down to Cincinnati. Corbin can flash, but he started very badly. 7 hits, 4 earned runs in 4 1/3 against the Reds last week. The Nationals were okay at home last night. They had 10 hits against Pittsburgh, got the win. They probably should have had another win on this season, but Finnegan blew the save. Sorry. So I think there's runs in this. I'm expecting Corbin to give up plenty, but Washington can put a few of their own up, so everyone can contribute, and we'll get to the over 8.5.
Yeah, I agree, Mal. That's the same play I got over. It's already on the move. It opened up at 8.5. I see some 9s out there right now. I still like the over. I made my total 9.5. Aaron Nola did not look good in his first start against the Braves, but like you said, Braves will make that happen against a lot of pitchers. 6 runs on 11 hits, and we all know about Patrick Corbin and how much we like to fade him. He didn't look good in his first start either. I agree. I think both teams can contribute, get some runs here. So they're both 4-1 towards the over first 5 games. So I think it continues. I think we see a lot of runs here. So I'm on the over as well.
Okie doke. Thank you, Dylan. Next, we will not forget to go top left. Oh, I've already forgot to go. I'm one game too late to go to the 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. We have Jose Quintana, left-handed pitcher for the Mets, and Hunter Green goes for Cincinnati. Even money on New York, +100, -125 on the Reds, with a total of 8.5. Dylan, you're definitely going to take the Reds here at this price, aren't you?
Oh, I mean, I've already bet it. I mean, I got a -116 with the Reds. They just got done playing the doubleheader. They're still losing in the 6th inning right now. Now they have to travel after this. They're going to get into Cincinnati pretty late. Reds had the day off. And plus, I do like Hunter Green. Despite the loss in his first outing, I didn't think he pitched all that bad. He only gave up 2 runs. He struck out 7. It was the walks that were the problem. 4 walks. That he has to clean that up a little bit. But I don't think that's going to be an issue here with the Mets. They don't walk. They're basically bottom 5 in all offensive categories. So this is going to be a rested lineup, and the Reds are an aggressive team to begin with. So I just think this is an awful spot for Mets and Quintana. So Reds are the better team right now. I think we're getting a very big discounted here. Reds run line, Reds money line, everything you could get. The Mets have only led for 7 innings out of 49 to 50 innings this season. So can't keep a lead even if they have it. So, just keep fading the Mets. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
My initial play when I handicapped these games, because I hadn't seen any lines, was the Cincinnati team total. Because I thought Cincinnati would be about minus 160. Now the lines have come out and the minus 125. I will snap your hand off. Get me in the queue for that. Quintana did okay against the Brewers last week. But the whole thing was just low scoring and cold. No one could score any runs. I don't know what you would have had to do to give up some runs in that series last week. So yeah, I don't mind him, but this isn't a great spot. In Cincinnati, just scoring. They scored 34 runs in 6 games. They lead the league in doubles and triples, which I think is key. And we know that aggro on the base paths. So this could be mayhem, and that's going to help you. That was part of the reason I wanted the Cincy team total, because I think they can just cause a lot of stuff to happen. And the Mets are just... I watched them today, and it's really hard, Dylan. Like it's, I know we've joked a lot, but it wasn't an easy watch today. Again, top 5 through 4 innings in the double header, no hits yet. So give me Cincy. Really straightforward.
The team total isn't out yet, but what do you think it opens up as? Because if you get anything like a 4.5, I think you got to hammer the over.
I'd say 4.5 juiced maybe is what I would do. That frustrates me a little bit sometimes, because you see the line that you want, you see the 4.5, but then it's juiced to something like sort of minus 140. And you just give me minus 110 both ways. That's what I want when I'm playing a total. Don't give me the line that I want, but then make it minus 140. Like, I suppose there's a reason the books are making all this money, Dylan, and me and you are sitting here like a couple of idiots trying to cobble together a couple of plays. Next, back down from the Mets too, the 7:20 Eastern first pitch between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Atlanta Braves. For the Snakes, it is left-handed pitcher Tommy Henry. The Braves have the main man, Spencer Strider, going to the hill, and they are a minus 300 favourite with Strider, plus 225 on Arizona. Total is set at 8.5, Dylan.
Yeah, this is a tough game to get any value in my opinion, unless you really like the Snakes and getting plus 235 with Tommy Henry on the mound. But he did not look good in his first start. He got rocked by the White Sox, and that was their only win of the season for the White Sox. Now going up against Spencer Strider, who arguably is one of the best pitchers in the league. And outside of that one home run he gave up to the Phillies, I think he pitched a really good game in his first start. This is the first road trip for the Snakes, while it's going to be the Braves home opener. I just think this is a bad spot for the D-backs and Tommy Henry. This is a danger Braves lineup. First in batting average, first in slugging percentage. They don't strike out. I think they're going to put some runs against the Snakes here. And, Diamondbacks, they found ways to score some runs too. Even yesterday against the Yankees when they were down, they forced extra innings. They're averaging 4.5 runs per game in the last 5 games. I know it's a small sample size, but they're able to score some runs. I do think we'll see some runs from both teams. We got winds blowing out into center field, so it should help a little bit. I got to go the over. That's going to be the play here. Over 8.5 at minus 105. I made my total 8.8.
Did you watch the end of that Arizona Yankees game yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
The pitcher batting. What the hell's going on there? I thought
they ran out of pitch hitters.
It was insane. I had a live bet the Boston Red Sox and the D-backs money line, didn't I, last night? And the Red Sox snuck it 1-0. And then the D-backs beat. Then they were back. Yeah, and they played the last infielder, I think, and then they pinch hit Perdomo, who twisted. Oh, I think he bumped his head actually,
Yeah.
round in first base. So they had nothing left. So Scott McGough, the pitcher, had to come in and struck out. He was, in fact, the umpire absolutely triggered him on a ball that was about 6 inches off the plate as well. So he didn't do him any favours. So that was another example of my terrible luck.
I think the people want to know, is that Winnipeg Jets, the hockey team?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Are you a Winnipeg fan?
No, is the short answer. I've got. I don't know. If I mentioned. I've got I've got an uncle Bob who lives in. I want to say Vancouver. And every time he comes, he's my dad's friend from when he's not my real uncle. In fact, he's my dad's friend from when they were really young, like late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
And he comes across to watch Newcastle 2 or 3 times a year still, and he'll bring things like that my dad will wear. So I've got a Blue Jays cap, I've got a Vancouver Whitecaps hat, and I didn't know what this was until somebody stopped me in the street and said, "Is that a Winnipeg Jets hat?" And I was like, "I don't know." So some Canadian fella stopped me in the street, but yes, it is good spot.
Yeah, I think you should be a Winnipeg Jets fan. They're good, 45-24. They're in the playoffs.
Randy spotted it. The only reason I've got it on, and obviously I'm indoors, it's absolutely freezing again around here. It's so bleak, mate. It's unbelievable.
What is it?
I don't know numbers. It's about 7 degrees. So I don't know what that is in American money. Yeah.
7 Celsius is 44 degrees Fahrenheit. So not too bad.
Is that cold? It's probably not New York cold.
No, right now New York's 41. So we're a little colder.
Oh, okay, so we're about
the same thing. It's not that cold.
I am soft as shite as well. That doesn't help. I'm going to try and pronounce this Sviatogoni. I normally call him Svi. I haven't seen Svi in the chat for a little while, but he's just joined us. Svi, how you doing? What on earth were we talking about? Diamondbacks at Braves. So $3 favourite. You took the over. $3 favourite. It's hard to know really what to do with Tommy Henry. And this is a bit of a shame that it is Tommy Henry, because if it was Gallen or Kelly, this would be a really good game. But it's not. It's Tommy Henry, who's the 5th choice starter at the moment for Arizona because of Erod's injury mainly. 5 earned runs against Colorado, which is a little bit of a worry last week. 4.76 2023 ERA. The Braves haven't hit left-handed pitching as well. But I mean, Strider started well and back at home. It's hard to factor him into the game. Atlanta team total is what I was going for. Really, just because they're very good and Tommy Henry isn't, and it's no more complicated than that. Maybe 5.5, I think, would probably be the total. So I'll take Atlanta team total, but it's not a big or clever play, but it was as far as I got on that one. Next is the 7:40 Eastern first pitch between the Chicago White Sox and the Kansas City Royals. Game 1 of this series takes place tonight, Thursday. This will be game 2. And Eric Fedde goes for the White Sox. Brady Singer takes the ball for Kansas City. Plus 145 on the White Sox. Minus 188 on the Royals, with a total of 8.5. Don't quite know what to do with this one either. It's going to be hard all year to handicap the White Sox, isn't it? Eric Fedde, just a name that's been around the league for a long time. 5 hits, 2 earned runs through 4 2/3 against Detroit. 2 solo homers is all he gave up. I think the game finished 3-2, and that was a really manky, low-scoring series, actually. So it's hard to take an awful lot from that. His last full season with the Nationals last year finished with a 5.81 ERA. So I think that's the sort of number that we're dealing with. That's not a fluke. Singer was brilliant against Minnesota last week. He pitched 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits and a walk, 10 strikeouts. That's more than good enough. More than good enough. Kansas City on the run line, a plus 115 here. And it looks like a really straightforward play. I like the plus money. So I'll take Kansas City on the run line, plus 115, Dylan.
Yeah, another total for me. I'm gonna take the under 8.5 at -105. I've been betting a lot of unders here with the White Sox, and it's been profitable 3-1-1 toward the under so far this season. And I think it has a chance to continue tomorrow. White Sox are just struggling mightily to score runs here. Besides that one game where they scored 6 runs, they haven't scored more than 3 runs all season. So maybe you want to attack the White Sox team total under, but I'm going to trust the full game under 8.5. I see maybe like a 3-2, 4-1 type game. So I like the run line play plus 120 for the Royals. Anytime you get plus money, I think I'd take them. Now, I just can't wait I hope we could skip all the way to like September. Remember where we start not talking about the teams that are already eliminated? White Sox are one of those teams already.
You want to stop handicapping the
6
Athletics
days
and the
in.
White Sox? Yeah. To be fair, I don't think I've given an Oakland first five out yet this season. That was my go-to play last year.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Paul Blackburn day or a Ken Waldichuk day, and we haven't had an Oakland first five. I tell you what is one of the traditions here on the MLB Gambling Podcast, and you might need this, Dylan. It's the live mushing of a no-hitter. And for the first time while we've been sitting live this season, the little blue no-hitter alert has just come up at the top of the Tigers Medsky. So the last couple of times, I think I was on with Munaf, and we managed to mush the no-hitter within about 35 seconds of mentioning it last time. So I'll give it a go, Dylan. I'm going to mention the no-hitter and see if we can mush it on your behalf. See if the Mets can put something together. Next up, 8:05 Eastern first pitch. The Houston Astros at the Texas Rangers, where Hunter Brown draws the start for Houston. The starting pitcher for Texas is left-handed pitcher Cody Bradford. -133 Houston, +105 Texas. Total is at 8.5, Dylan.
Yeah, I got to go here with the home dog, Mal. Rangers money line at even money for me. I even see +110 actually right now. So I actually went the other way. I'll take the +110. I actually made the Rangers a favorite -110. I think Cody Bamford had a really nice outing against the Cubs. 3 hits, 5 innings. He struck out 6. Hunter Brown actually had a nice outing as well. The Astros just couldn't get him any run support. I wonder how the Astros are going to play on the road this season. The Rangers coming back home, where they usually do perform better. I think they have the better pitcher in Cody Bamford. I think they have the better offense. Their lineup is better, and the lineup has just been inconsistent for the Astros. So at even money, I think the Rangers are the better team. So +110, give me the Rangers here at home.
Okay, this is another game where I'm on the other side, Dylan. Houston money line. It's a straight flop here for me. Hunter Brown, a relatively short start, but a good one against the Yankees last week. A big part of the handicap here is that Houston found their bats eventually. We said it had to happen. I think Jordan Alvarez had a record-breaking night last night, 2 home runs, but he was the first hitter to have 4 hits that came off the bat at over 105 mile an hour. So all of a sudden, Jordan found it. Bradford was excellent against the Cubs. And I was hoping that made a decent price for the Astros. The 5 Houston losses so far have all come out of the bullpen, which is unusual for Houston. So I don't think that's going to last. So hopefully they can figure it out. Brown, okay. We've added the bats in, and the bullpen are going to figure it out. That's everybody. Houston at -133. Next, we will go to, this is the penultimate game on the show. It is a 8:10 Eastern first pitch between the Seattle Mariners and the Milwaukee Brewers. My guy, Logan Gilbert, goes for Seattle, and TVDBJ's guy, Freddie Peralta, will go for the Brewers. This one's close on the books, one of the closer games of the evening. +100 even money for Seattle, -125 the Brewers. Total is set at 7.5. 2 pitchers here that we like. Great matchup. One of the best matchups on the card here. Logan Gilbert. I said all year that I liked him better than George Kirby. And Kirby was the one who was going higher in drafts and was a shorter price for all the awards. Kirby got a little bit lit up last night. Gilbert was great last week against Boston. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. All of Gilbert's off-speed stuff is off the charts. The metrics are absolutely stunning for all the breaking stuff. He was great on the road last year, absolutely outstanding. 9-2 with a 3.40 ERA. Freddie Peralta was just as good last week. Road Peralta has been a bit of a concern, as Trevor's always at great pains to point out. And it was at the Mets. We have to put that little caveat in. 6 innings, 1 solo home run with 8 strikeouts. Brewers have started well. Did give it up last night against the Twins. Jackson Chourio was a good story. I think he was the youngest player since Juan Soto to hit a home run last night. Chourio, my Rookie of the Year pick. I might pivot here. I've got written down a first 5 under, but I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle at plus 100. I like Gilbert a lot, and I just trust Seattle. Although they haven't scored a load of runs, I think ultimately they've got a better lineup than the Brewers. So it just gives them a little edge. So rather than the first 5 under, I'll take Seattle at even money, Dylan.
Now, I think Trev and everybody else in the chat, we need penultimate game T-shirts in the store. I think they would sell out in minutes. Nice. So we got to talk to Sean and Ryan about that. But yeah, this one was another tough game to handicap. I really had no feel. I did make the Brewers a minus 115 favorite. The total seems spot on. I made my total 8.1. Gun to my head, I guess I would actually lean on the other side with the Brewers. They've just been the more consistent team right now. I don't know what's up with the Mariners. They can't score. Their pitching hasn't been delivering either. I don't trust them, and I haven't seen them play on the road yet. I do think the Brewers are the right side. So for the show, I probably won't go to the window with it, but probably for the show, I lean Brewers here.
I might change my mind back to that first 5 under. Seattle haven't scored any runs, have they? There, you're right. Yeah. So in a tight game, there's not enough variance here. Yeah. Let's change it. I'm going to scribble it out again with my pen. First 5 under Seattle at Milwaukee. Okay, this is the ultimate game on the show, and it is a 9:38 Eastern first pitch between the Boston Red Sox and the LA Angels. The first place LA Angels. Boston Red Sox have Cutter Crawford on the mound. LA Angels have Griffin Canning. Minus 110 for the Red Sox. Minus 118 for the Angels. So pretty much a match with a total here of 8.5. Both these teams head scratching a little bit. Boston shut out Oakland twice this week. Is that good? Is it not good? Who's to say? Cutter Crawford was good last week. That's a fact. 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs against Seattle. And I do like him. And I liked him as part of this Boston rotation. Him, Whitlock, Houck, all very, very similar players. And I think they're all going to go well. Boston are going to carry on going okay. Sedan Raviella's playing well, putting together sort of highlight reel stuff every night in the outfield. Griffin Canning got lit up at Baltimore last week. I also like him, but he's starting to be expensive to follow for me, Griffin Canning. I find myself drawn to him, and he's not getting it done enough. He's in one of those pitches I'm starting to get a little bit bored of. I don't trust what the Angels have been doing either, by the way. They've got no business in winning quite a lot of the games that they've won. Boston are going to be okay. I think if this game was in the middle of the season, Boston would be a much, much shorter price.
Yeah.
Just because we've got a small sample size in LA, have done a little bit of winning. I think the prices are close together. I'm going to take the Red Sox still in at minus 110.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I was able to get the Red Sox here at even money. I made them a minus 120 favorite. I'm not a fan of Griffin Canning either at home or on the road. It doesn't matter. Both teams are coming in on 4-game winning streaks, but like you said, I don't think the Angels have any business being 4-2 right now. I think they're the strength of their schedule has kind of helped them out a little bit. But I do think the Red Sox are the better team, like you said. In 2 months, I think this would be a minus 150, minus 160 type of game. But offensively, defensively, I just think the Red Sox are a better team. Regardless of his first start, Cutter Crawford looked really good against the Mariners. 3 hits on 6 innings. He struck out 7. And Angels strike out a lot, so maybe look towards a Cutter Crawford K prop. But I do think the Red Sox here are the right side. I think they keep it rolling. They'll make it 5 in a row. So anything under a minus 120, I think it's a good value here with the Red Sox.
Team right then, last up. James, right, and the surname, do we go with Chipola, Sipola, or Kipola? We've got 3 different options there, James. What you Dylan, you more of a Italian slant here?
I mean, I would pronounce it Capola. Capola? I don't know.
With a C or an S or a Ch?
Capola. Dude, that's not me.
That's not you. Dylan's not great at stuff like that.
No.
James, tell us how to pronounce it, and then we can announce you properly. A new name in the chat to me anyway, so welcome along, James. Okay, games are in the book. 13 games for Friday in the book. Dylan, lock, dog, what have you got for us?
All right, lock. Gotta keep it short. So let's keep fading the Mets minus 116. They're just abysmal. Still getting no hit right now. So yeah, gotta take the Reds. Yeah, it's bad. For my dog, I didn't really give out too many plus money plays. I really wanted to take a shot here with the Cubbies at home, but I don't want to fade Bobby Miller either. Well, let's fade the Tigers. Let's go with JP Sears. Plus $2 for I'm gonna fade them. I think the bats are going to be a little tired. They've only put up 1 run on the Met team. I think if the A's could get 2 to 3 runs, I think they're going to be live here. And, JP Sears, I know he didn't look good in his first start, but Tigers really don't hit lefties all that well. I think he could have some success. So I'm going to bank on him. Give me the A's as my dog.
Okay, Lane's joined us for the last couple of minutes to get the good stuff. Cheeky. Hey, Lane, how you doing? Yeah, I haven't got many dogs either, Dylan. Looking around, I quite liked a lot of my picks, but not very fancy. Kansas City run line, plus 115. Great start from Singer. Eric Fedde in the White Sox aren't very good, so it might well be low scoring, like you say. Royals beat them 5-1, something like that. So yeah, I'll take a Kansas City run line at plus money for my dog. And for my luck, I'm just having a little scan around. I'm going Munaf style here. I used to pick mine before the show, but I'm taking a leaf out of the Munaf's book because I quite like it when you boys make a case and sometimes sway me. Cincinnati, what are we doing? Minus 125. I genuinely thought, and I thought this would be minus 150. When I was handicapping it this afternoon. The odds come out at minus 125. Yeah. I loved it then. I love it even better at 1/4 point bigger. So Cincinnati Reds at minus 125. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, has got everything in the book. Dylan, anything you want to tell us about before we get going?
I will say I won't be fading the Mets every game, but one of these days we are going to get some value here with the Mets. So just stay patient. But we got a lot of people listening. So if you guys could subscribe, we're only about 88 subscribers away from 1,000. So really helps the show grow. So
yeah, people have been great at that as well. If you've got 30 seconds just to give a thumbs up or a little comment, helps the algorithm. If people comment, the YouTube loves that. So yeah. Do us a favour. I've got something terrible happening this weekend, Dylan.
What?
Forced family fun, Dylan. I am not a big fan of forced family fun. At Christmas, my sister bought like a weekend away, like an Airbnb up the coast for all the family. So my mum and dad, her partner, the dog. I hate dogs. I know you're a dog man. I'm not. My niece with the 2 little kids as well. So we've got the whole range. If people just listen to the Premier League show, they've heard me do the same speech about an hour ago. We've got the whole range from the 80-year-old parents to the 1-year-old nieces and nephews. Mate, and it's 3
How far are you
nights.
from Scotland?
Well, mate, you could throw a pebble.
Okay, so you're
Probably
close.
we're going to a place called Alnwick. Alnwick Castle is the Harry Potter castle. If you remember, Dylan, I sent you a couple of
Yeah,
photos the last time I was there.
yeah.
Alnwick Castle is the Harry Potter castle. So we're going to Alnwick, which is on the northeast coast, the Northumberland coast, and we're probably 25 miles away from the Scottish border.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's going to be cold and miserable, and we're all going to just shout at each other and
just get belligerent and get drunk.
Well, we're staying the Airbnb is above a pub, so jackpot. Me and my dad, I imagine, will just sit in the corner and drink 12 pints every day. So yeah, that's me for the weekend. Thanks, Dylan. That was tons of fun. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I absolutely love it. Honestly, brilliant. I think it's going to be a show tomorrow, although I don't know who's going to be on it. Like you say, I'll be 7 pints deep. I'll do it if you want.
Yeah.
And someone will be back on Sunday night as well. But good luck all weekend with your picks. And we will see you down the road. Cheers.